Here we go now.
We all have busy lives, and I know especially around the holidays, cooking, cleaning, shopping, returning gifts makes it even busier. So why not make it a lot easier when it comes to preparing your meals in just 2 minutes? Our friends over at Factor Meals are back here again to sponsor today's live recap. And they have actually some good news, especially for those that have New Year's resolutions to lose weight. Ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that makes eating, well, easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes so that you can fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Why not lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto meals based on randomized controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto? Results will vary depending on diet and exercise. And as always, we've gotten you a deal. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/Kempire50 off and use code Kempire50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code Kempire50 off at factormeals.com/Kempire50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. More information on Factor Meals and your discount will be available in the description. Now let's get back to the show. What is going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday. This isn't necessarily our Tuesday takeover because, usually Tuesday takeover, we cover a variety of different shows and different hot topics. But a lot of you have been hitting me up and asking me, have I watched the new season 3 of Young, Famous, and African? And I started last night the first episode, and I watched episode 2 and episode 3. Okay? But I'm not going to go by each scene or each storyline. I'm just going to talk general, just because a lot of the storylines sort of overlap from episode 1 to episode 2 to episode 3. But if you haven't watched it and you don't like spoilers, then don't watch this until you watch Young, Famous, and African, okay? So as you know, we've been talking about Young, Famous, and African since season 1. I was in season 2 on episode 2. They used a clip of mine to cover the whole drama that is Annie Idiba's life. Sorry, Annie. I don't know about anyone else, but I noticed a very weird energy from Annie from the beginning of season 3. I don't know what it is. I do know what it is. She seems unhappy. She seems really unhappy with her life. And that is no one's fault but her own. And I like Annie. I liked Annie in season 1. I liked Annie's friendship with Swanky. I thought that they made peace in season 2, but from the gate, season 1, they're greeting each other, and then we find out they hate each other, basically. And that Swanky can't go to Lagos. He can't go to Lagos because he might get jumped. Because you remember what he said, he had some damaging information about Annie and things that Annie may have said to him on the phone. Remember, for those that may have, don't remember season 2, I almost completely forgot. But apparently Annie has come in swinging. She has beef with Nadia. She still has beef with Swanky. But Annie, girl, you're mad at the wrong people, I think. I think your anger, your upset, your dissatisfaction with life has nothing to do with Swanky. And look, that doesn't mean Swanky's innocent. Let me be clear. Swanky is I can't put my finger on it, but damn it, he's stylish. It has something to do with his style. I can't put my finger on what exactly it is with Swanky, but I don't trust him. I wouldn't turn my back on him. I feel as if he moves with the wind. He's probably like Bose, Bose of St. John from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, where he has like 3,000 best friends. I get that vibe from him. But Annie, look, I'm gonna be a Sutton. You're not mad at me. You're upset with your own life and what's going on in your own life. That's the vibe I've gotten. I'm getting bitter. I don't even want to say this about Annie because I feel for Annie, but I'm getting bitter vibes. I'm getting you're mad at the wrong person because there have been rumors even before we knew who Annie was. There have been rumors all throughout the continent of Africa about her man Two-Face. That was your first problem. You got with a man that his nickname is Two-Face. Okay. So, and then even worse, isn't his real name Innocence? No, not to be trusted. So there've been all kinds of dirty laundry, and we covered one of the recent dirty laundry that was out there. No baby has been, at least not to our knowledge, has come to fruition. But that was the rumor on the street that Swanky was, not Swanky, that Tubaba. He has a lot of names. Two-Face had another side baby. He already has had some side babies, right? Allegedly. Right? I'm trying to keep up with all the drama. But the vibe that I've gotten this season from Annie is that she's mad at the wrong people. In episode 1, look, Zari has never been my favorite, but she does live up to the name of Boss Lady. Okay, this is not the greatest picture of her. I try to gather as many pictures of the cast as I could. This is not the best picture of her. There are moments where Zari does walk in and she looks like a goddess. I like her energy. To me, she would be fantastic on a Real Housewives show because that's the vibe that she gives. I do find it interesting, though. What exactly does Shakib do? Her man, Shakib? You know her man, Shakib? He's very handsome. Look, where's my Shakib photo? Hold on, here it is. He's a very handsome man. I just don't understand. Is this a plaything for Zari? Zari has her own money. Zari is successful in her own right. Google schmoogle. Here's the thing. That I don't think you as an audience want to Google schmoogle anything on these people. You want to learn about why they are so famous. Okay, someone tweeted, I don't know why they call the show Young, Famous, and African. I have not met the young yet. And then I said to self, oh, that might be a point. Okay. One of the problems that I find with Dubai Bling and with Young, Famous, and African is very surface. I don't feel like we've gotten to understand how these folks are young, famous, and African. Well, I guess we know it African. But you get what I mean? They're living these big lives, and it's sort of, we don't understand how they are doing that. Not that we need to know, we don't need to see their bank accounts, but they're living these big lives, and I want to see, how did you achieve this success? I feel like there's not enough focus on their success. Like, we know about Diamond and how he's made his success. I mean, he's a jerk. But that's who he is. That's who he is. And I'm not surprised that he's with Fantana. I was so upset because I really was looking forward to season 3, but I was disappointed in season 2, especially when they introduced us to Fantana, who sounds like she just rolled out of Atlanta, even though I do like this top because of the elephants. I like the top because of the elephants. I don't like Fantana. Every time she does a confessional and she has her American accent, I'm just sort of like, what show am I watching? Am I watching Love and Hip Hop? Or am I watching Young, Famous, and African? Didn't you guys get the notes, producers? We did not want to see Fantana again, but I guess you needed somebody that'd be willing to sleep with Diamond and be a part of that storyline. Okay. Bianca says they are famous in Africa. I know that. Or maybe you're answering someone else in the live chat. We know that they're famous in Africa. We want to know why. We want to know a little bit more about them. Because we have to remember, this is an international show on an international platform. There are a lot of us that don't know them. And I'm telling you this, I will Google Schmoogle and dig. However, a lot of people, 99% of the audience is not going to Google Schmoogle who these people are. We've gotten glimpses of who they are. However, I think the show would have a bigger impact, especially within the community that looks like them, by showing, wow, this person is famous for this, or this person is rich for this person achieved this is what this person's working on. I don't think we get that. Here's the thing though. Fantana, I don't want to know anything about Fantana. And the fact, I think it was in episode 2 where Fantana and Lewis get into a fight. Mind you, he had a crush on her last season. Now he's arguing with a woman. But the fact that they shaded the fact that no one can find music from her, I don't care. Malambo says, Fantana is not famous in Africa. Apparently, no one can find music from her. I didn't look. I'll say that much. I'm sure you can find something on Spotify. You can find my music on Spotify. I'm not famous for music, though. Okay? God's Child says, Fantana is beyond irritating and has no self-awareness. That is such a lovely way of saying everything bad that I'm going to say. I could have did without Fantana this season. I don't watch this show for a character or an archetype like Fantana. We are really loving the naturalness of the friend group. Fantana was sort of thrown in there to be a plaything for Diamond, in my humble opinion. Tiffany says that Fantana was so mean to him for no reason. Maybe because he had moved on. Lewis started. First of all, Lewis had a girlfriend at the wedding. Okay, first of all, would you invite your ops to your wedding? So Zari has her wedding in the first episode. Beautiful wedding, marrying this young man. I don't know what the age difference is, but it's clear that there's an age difference. Annie did not get along with Zari, but was invited to this filmed wedding, of course. So Annie, because, they're not close, of course Annie's going to be talking about the wedding. She's like, oh my gosh, and da-da-da. Annie meets Zari's son. She's like, that's her son? He looks grown. Oh, he looks like the age equivalent of Shakib. Okay. So Zari invites Annie. Look, we're filming a reality show. This is a new season. It's being filmed. For me, in my head, I'm like, that's why she was invited. However, I'm not surprised that Annie is talking all this mess. Annie's energy from the moment she came in, because first of all, I thought that Annie and Swanky were good since last season. They had a bad season, but by the end of it, they got back together as friends. I don't know what happened. I think the fame went to both of their heads. Whatever fame is, okay, to them. But I think it went to both their heads, and I don't know. I just feel like, did we ever really get to the root of why they were so mad at each other? Because it's so hard to watch. It's giving Lisa Milan and Chanel Ayan. You started season 1 so close, calling each other best friends, and it took a reality show to mess things up for you. But again, I feel like Annie is misdirecting her anger, her bitterness. And I hate to say that because we talked about this with other reality TV stars. Some people have said that about Giselle from Real Housewives of Potomac. But Annie is a perfect example of it. We see it because we've seen all the things that Two-Face has put her through. And instead of being mad at him, she's defended him tooth and nail, got remarried to him on this show. She never gives the energy that she gives to everyone else to him. Sabi says, Zari used to be an Annie. Ooh, when Diamond got his second baby mama pregnant, she went on every radio show throwing shade. We can't forget that Zari was with Diamond. Can we imagine that there was a period of time that Diamond was faithful to Zari? They seem to have some sort of soul tie connection because there always is this flirtatious energy around them that, first of all, Shakib does not like. In episode 2 or 3, I can't remember, I think it's episode 3, where Shakib sits down with Diamond because Shakif feels disrespected. You're talking about having another baby with my wife. You're so touchy feely with her. Okay. Deborah says sounds like Dr. Contessa for real. Yeah, it's giving that vibe, Annie. But even though we watched Annie in season 1 and in season 2, but in season 3, her energy is off. We find out, again, if you haven't watched these first 3 episodes, you're going to hear a lot of spoilers. We found out in, episode 3, where Annie revealed to Naked, the DJ. Sidebar, why are we acting as if he is the martyr? He's so innocent. Speaking of innocent, why are we pretending like he didn't have a problem these first 2 seasons? Why are we pretending like Naked DJ is like the best man ever? Right? Why are we pretending like he's being the mediator for everyone? I was like, sir, I haven't forgotten. You used to be the problem. Am I wrong? Oh, damn. Queen T says, that man is unattractive and a womanizing runt. I'm assuming you're talking about Diamond. But, I mean, some of that can be referenced to Naked DJ. Paula says his role is Peacemaker this season. Because what's his face? I can't remember his name. The one from last season who turned out to be a womanizer too. But remember that used to be his role with this cast? I forgot his name. Damn it. I don't have the season 2 cast in front of me. Miss Carolina says, are you taking callers today? I am. going to take some quick callers, though, because I have to go. As you guys know, the Kempire After Dark live experience is returning to Washington, D.C. this Friday. I have a lot of things going on. Another reason why we didn't have Tuesday Takeover today. But I did want to make some time to talk about Young, Famous, and African. If you follow me on Twitter or Blue Sky, I'm really trying to move all my content to Blue Sky. I have my reasons, and you probably can read between the lines. And Delay, thank you, guys. Oh, I can always count on you guys. And shout out to everyone in Africa that will be watching the replay of this. We appreciate you guys being here. And Delay, I appreciate that. So remember, we loved Delay the first season, and then it seemed like he was going to have a little bit of a thing with Zari. Not sure what happened, but we saw it played out last season. He had like a whole love triangle going on, and Delay was sort of like the role that we see Naked playing this season. But here's the thing. Didn't he propose last season to Kaylee? I'm so surprised they even brought Kaylee back. Kaylee gives, and I'm not going to even say Cynthia Bailey. No, Cynthia Bailey let's not make Cynthia Bailey's name synonymous with boring, because that's not the truth. Cynthia Bailey is necessary on a cast. She's not a Cynthia Bailey. She's boring. Why is she here? Why is she here? Malambo's watching from Zambia. What time is it there? And if I mispronounce things, guys, I'm trying. Help me. Give me the correct pronunciation if I mispronounce the name. Katie, thank you so much for this, because apparently Kanye will be making an appearance this season, but we need her from the beginning. I should not be watching 3 episodes and no Kanye. Kanye is the star of this show. She's the reason why I started watching. I was like, oh, this woman, she gives me villain. She knows she's a villain. She gives me Kenya Moore. Like, she knows how to produce a scene and at the same time play like she's friends with everyone. So she will be a part of this season, but apparently she's not full time. Is there a reason though? Africa. Look, everyone in Africa, fan out. Let me know. Where is Kanye? Kanye, where are you? Damn. Hold on. Let me find. Kay says she only makes 2 appearances, so be prepared. No, season 3. What happened? Something must have happened with her contract, or did she hightail it out of there? Did someone say is she back in Dubai? Didn't she leave her man in Dubai? Kanye was such a character. And don't get me wrong, Zari is very interesting too. Zari she would be perfect for a Real Housewives show. Where is she based? Is she based in South Africa? because I could see her on the Real Housewives of Durban or Johannesburg. But damn, no Kanye this season? Someone said Andile's needed too. No, no. I'm not going to say he didn't offer something, but I'm not believing Naked playing the, mediator this season. He had a messy second season, though, Andile. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Jessica. Jessica, I knew something about her moving to Dubai, but didn't she leave the man in Dubai? Remember we talked about that? Jessica, she moved to Dubai with her husband. What about her kids? Did she leave the kids in the other apartment? Come on. Don't act like you didn't watch the same show. Okay, T says Kanye only makes 2 appearances. No. No. Zimbabwe's in the house. What's going on? Jessica says she moved to Dubai with her husband, and I think he is controlling her. Oh, so the man that she left in Dubai is not the same guy? Oh, Malambo says Kanye had a burnout and needed a mental break. Kanye, we needed you. Okay? I'm not saying the season's not good, but the same problem that I find with Dubai Bling's current season, I don't know, they might be in trouble, y'all. Dubai Bling. They might be in trouble. I was going to try and watch that and talk about both this time. Maybe the next time that we do a live recap of the other episodes of Young, Famous, and African. The same problem that I see with Dubai Bling is sort of like everyone... all we have are these people. We see them walking in. We see their beautiful gown. I will give this to Young, Famous, and African. The confessional looks, the fashion that they're giving, great. But as the late, great Aretha Franklin has said, beautiful gowns. No, I need more than just beautiful gowns. I need something. I need substance. And I know it's reality television. And I know some people will say, Kempire, you're expecting a lot. No, we need a balance. We need the fashion. We need the interpersonal drama. But we also need to get to know you guys. If somebody just came in off of season 3, they were like, what's going on? Why does this one not like this one? How do they have all this money? What do they do? Because no matter who it is, it could be Asian family or a white family. We all going to be like, so how did you achieve all of this? So I want to see more of who they are. We understand that the family drama and the friend drama are there. Oh, wait, Winter. Winter, I went outside before. I had to carry some bags and I didn't have gloves on. I came in and I put my hands under hot water. I said, oh my God, if I was out any longer, I probably would have had frostbite. It is cold here in New York City. It's like 12 degrees or something like that. I don't know what that is in Celsius because I know we have international folks watching. It's frigid. And we have snow this week already. And it's supposed to be cold in D.C. when I get there too. Lord have mercy. Okay. Nasser said, hey, Nasser got a news photo. Nasser says, we need more substance. And look, we're not expecting, deep conversations. It just feels like Dubai Bling and Young, Famous, and African are the same thing. Very surface. And every scene, there's some sort of drama in the friend group. And that feels forced. I don't like that. So in episode 1, we have Zari's wedding to this young man, Shakib. Can you guys let me know? I'm probably sure last season, maybe they told us what Shakib does. I mean, I really don't care because Shakib is cute. And I think that's part of the reason why Zari likes him. Cute. Great style, though. I have to say, for the most part, the men and the women have great style. I will say this, and I'm not one to judge anyone's wigs and makeup. The wigs are not the greatest. The makeup aren't the best for everyone. Okay? In all fairness. But the fashion, like the confessionals, the celebration of African culture in their fashion, I love it. I love it. What's Kaylee doing there? Again, what's Kaylee doing there? I'm not understanding. Naked is just going around being friends with everyone. Let me tell you something. Did you guys see Diamond's confessional look in episode 3 where he's in a robe? I said, not Jenna Lyons is culturally appropriating You know, Jenna Lyons from Real Housewives of New York. She wore a robe to the reunion, but I was like, he did it first. This was filmed months ago. He wears this like velvety robe in his confessional. I was like, wait a minute, are we starting a trend? Okay. Ashley says that Shakib's the only mature person with sense on this cast. And mind you, he's probably the youngest. Not even probably. I definitely think he's the youngest. Okay. Nash says that she's South African. Kaylee? I'm sure. I don't like her, though. She doesn't bring anything to the show. She's boring. It's like watching paint dry. I'm just saying. But I guess she has to be there because she's... Are they engaged? I don't remember what happened with them. I really don't care. I remember didn't he go up on a mountaintop and propose? Did they not get married? I'm thinking not. CJ, I hope not. See, I mean, I feel like she might have had one. Well, she does reveal, I think it was in episode 3, that Annie reveals that she was pregnant with twins and lost the twins. And so that was some of the things that she was going through last season. She told this to Naked DJ. That's his name. Okay. Not his real name, his nickname. IA says she's a diversity hire in regards to Kaylee. Is that what they're trying to do? We didn't need it. No one talks about Kaylee. No one cares about Kaylee. Oh, yeah, I forgot. He did give her a key. It wasn't a proposal. See, I can't even remember. That's how much of a non-factor. He gave her a key. And she's still around. Daisy Bella says they get engaged at the end of this season. Lord have mercy. We don't care. Thank you. They're just boyfriend and girlfriend, Janaea says. Oh, Lord. Again, we just don't care. Deep Rigger says, not a diversity hire. Mm-hmm. Diversity hire. Thank you, Stacey. And it's okay. I don't mind a spoiler alert. We're only recapping episodes 1, 2, and 3. Some people are just like, ruining it. I don't think he watched the whole season. Don't ruin it for him. Thank you. I didn't watch the whole season yet. I'm watching it in waves. Because here's the thing. If I watch the entire season, it's going to be harder for me to recap it. Because if I watch the entire season and it's terrible, I'm not going to talk about it at all. So it's better I take it in waves and then talk about it. Okay? Ann says, that was a spoiler. We don't care. Saint Lee says DJ Naked's real name is Quentin. I know, but they call him Naked. Chocolate, so you got a new photo. A photo of yourself. Cute. Shakib is fine. He is fine. He's good looking. But how old is he? Do we know how old Shakib is? What does Shakib do? Because we already know Zari has her own wealth. She has her own businesses and things like that. She is the boss lady. She also walks with that energy. But what does Shakib do? He's 33. He looks younger. How old is the boss lady? She's probably 10 years older than him. That's not bad in comparison to Sweet Tea and Dr. Gregory, 23 years. Heat says, can we talk about the new cast that walking into wedding? Well, you're referring to, let me get the pronunciation correct because she's new and there's something about her. Kefilwe? Am I pronouncing that correctly? We'll call her Kefi, because I feel like that's what the cast calls her. I'm not sure about. I don't dislike her. I think she walks into a room and she's stunning. She's stunning. She seems to warm up to Annie very easily. Right? Which I thought was weird. I thought it was kind of weird that automatically she just loved Annie. But not really, because season 1, we really liked Annie too. He's a boxer. Shakib is a boxer. So his body is fine too, isn't it? Sorry. Okay. But I get it. Zari, women, men, most go through waves. You marry, your first husband is for the money. Your next husband could be for just the looks. because she has the money. She doesn't need the money from him. So, okay, Kay. I wasn't sure. Kay says, I like her, Kefi, but her discernment is off. See, this is where Zari loses me because she comes at people sometimes from left field, and you're like, why are you coming after this woman? He's not a professional boxer. So what does he do? Is he just an arm piece? Lunga says, hold on. Again, if I mispronounce your names, I apologize in advance. Lunga says, I don't like Zari. I never liked her. Ever since season 1, she's not my cup of tea. I agree with that. I understand that. But if I'm thinking from a perspective of making reality television, she's important. Especially in a season where we don't have Kanye. We need a Zari. I didn't like how she came after Kefi, though. But I love the way that Kefi walked into her wedding. I was like, who's this woman, first of all, walking in for the reception, and she's late? But of course, everyone knows Swanky. It's Swanky's friend. They were both on the most best dressed list of GQ, blah, 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 blah. Kat says, I didn't know that Zari came after a woman. She came after Kefi in I think it was episode 2. Yeah, it was episode 2 when they had that group event. They have a lot of group events. Okay, they have a lot of group events. At the top of episode 2, I think, yeah, Annie and Nadia get into it. This is where Annie loses me. I don't understand why she has beef with Nadia. Her and Nadia are not friends. Nadia is friends with Swanky. So she didn't like the fact that Nadia was team Swanky, but she's not good friends with you. So she decides to have a conversation with Nadia about it, and she flips. They flip on each other. Mind you, Kefi's watching this, and she's sort of still team Annie. Have I lost something? Because I really have to let me replay the scene because I'm trying to understand why Kefi's looking at Nadia sideways because I'm looking at Annie sideways. But okay, I still like Kefi, but I feel like her alliance with Annie, I'm not sure why. But you never know. Some people are bigger on energy. Maybe she just likes Annie's energy, and I can see that. I do like Annie before all of this stuff. I do feel like this season she comes in off. Something's very off. Even at the wedding, I would have thought that Annie and Swanky were in a better place, but they come in, mind you, they come in and you would never know that there's beef between Annie and Swanky. They're like, oh, hey, even when he found out that she was talking about him to Fantana, because remember, Fantana and Annie had their conversation, and that's when we found out all the details of how Annie feels about Swanky, and how, she's got a few people in Legos ready to beat him up. That's serious. Like someone that was like your brother, your best friend. You got people coming for him? Katie says that Nadia is the least problematic person on the show, but Nadia is not to be played with. Oh, I agree. I mean, it's not saying much that she's the least problematic. Oh my goodness. But I do like Nadia. Because Nadia is not as messy. And apparently she's more accomplished. Like people know her music from this show. So Kat says, I'll never be Team Annie. I just purely based on her self-hatred to stay with a man who had 14 babies on her. Nah, that girl's not a flex. Sorry. Wait, is it 14? Is that 14? Tiffany says, Zari bleached her skin. Did someone say that? Yeah, I believe she has. Okay. We definitely know Kanye has. And Kanye, I don't think has a problem saying it either. Right? Kanye, I don't think denies it. Look at that. Look at the hands. Look at versus the face. Just saying. Is what it is. All right. Moving along. Exactly. Nash says Nadia is an award-winning rapper. Literally in episode 3, when we go to her house, when Fantana goes to her house, they're showing all her awards. I've been meaning to get into their music. one thing we do know for sure is that Diamond is huge. Literally, even American artists, American fans know who Diamond is. I'm not going to sit here and act as if I do. I learned that from season one. Okay, but he apparently is probably the most famous of anyone on this cast. He just comes on when he wants to come on. And he at least admits on the show that the situation with him and Fantana is just about sex. But what he'll say to her is more so, he'll say whatever she wants to hear. Only, spoiler alert, only for us to find out. Fantana goes to Nadia's house to tell her that she thinks that she might be pregnant. Here's the thing with Fantana that I can't stand. It's her delivery on everything. Everything seems like, and maybe it's just her awkwardness. Everything feels like it's a joke to her because she's like, I missed my period for 2 weeks. I don't like her on the show. And if she did get pregnant by Diamond, it's one way to secure her spot on the show. Ugh. I don't like her on the show. She feels so out of place. I was like, how in the hell did Love and Hip Hop invade Young, Famous, and African? It's weird. I never liked it for season 2. I'm surprised they brought it back for season 3. Maybe because she's been having a relationship with Diamond. I'm like, okay. Professor Sagittarius says that she's an idiot. Wendy says that Fantana is so irritating. I don't like her at all. Something in my spirit just does not take to her. I'm looking forward to learning more about Kefi though. She seems interesting to me, so I'm interested in seeing more. I'm very annoyed that we're only going to get 2 scenes from Kanye this season. Kanye was definitely needed from the jump. Again, some people have speculated in the live chat that Kanye is married. She's in Dubai. So that's part of the reason why we don't see a lot of her. Get that divorce, Kanye. I'm sorry. I'm joking. I'm being facetious, but is this the same man that she left in Dubai? Did someone confirm that? Or is this a different guy? But didn't she up and leave him? I find it hard to believe that anyone could control Kanye. She's such a villain. Katie says the gums were a bit much this season. Okay, thank you. A-Rich says that Kefilwe redeemed herself later in the season. I like her vibe, though. I like her fashion. I like her personality. Okay. You may recall that I told you I liked, what's his name? Where's my picture of him? Let me see did I put a picture over here of him? Lewis. Do I not have a picture of Lewis? I know I put up a picture of Lewis. Hold on. Let me pull a picture of Lewis. Oh, here it is. Here it goes. Here's my picture of Lewis. Let me pull up this picture of Lewis. So Lewis, as you know, I liked Lewis from last season. I like the way he speaks. I like his accent. I like his tone. I don't necessarily like him this season. It feels like he's giving us, I don't know, like him fighting with Fantana was unattractive. I know she was wrong, but I don't know. He had at the wedding, he was dating the older woman that was the officiant. Then he's now he had a crush on Fantana last season. And now he has a crush on Kefi. I'm like I like him. I think I more so like his tone of voice. I love an accent. I like his tone of voice. And I loved him last season because we learned a lot about him last season. And you remember his story. If you don't, go back and watch. His story is really interesting, especially when it comes to his family and things like that. But I don't know. Like the first 3 episodes, I'm like, I'm not really feeling him this season. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Coco says banana was wrong. You mean Fantana? Did you mean banana? Because Fantana is a joke. Okay. Saintly says he's so socially awkward. I like his energy, but there was something these first 3 episodes that I wasn't feeling of Lewis. I was like, even when he walked in, I forgot what it was. It was for the dinner. I think it was the first dinner with Keffy, and he walks in. Look, this is a part of Young Famous and African. There's always going to be an introduction of them walking in. You're going to see the fashion and things like that. To see this man walk in with the jackets on his shoulders, and he's just like, I'm like, if I was a woman, I don't think I would, and that might be the problem for him, that he has a hard time, okay, with the women, because maybe he doesn't give the energy that most women would like from a man. Oh wait, CJ says, just wait, Kempire, you will see more about Lewis. But wait, in a bad way or good way? I'm okay with a spoiler alert. Heat Roar says that he was trying too much. Coco says no banana is right. Oh wait a minute. Queen says seems autistic or something. Is he a virgin? Every woman doesn't want him. Just weird. It might be that introduction when he walks in. I mean, the fashion on this cast. I have to give them their kudos. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to pull off some of the fashion that they pull off. And Annie, I love it when you wear your natural hair. The wigs this season, they look good on her. Annie's a beautiful woman. I prefer her with her natural hair, her low cut natural hair. I love that on her. Okay, can we talk about when Zari read her down though? Come on. First of all, this was Kaylee's event. What was the event for? I never got the memo. What was the event for, Kaylee? What were we doing? Either way, they were sitting down to have dinner. We have Swanky sitting at the top of the table. We have Annie sitting at the other end of the table. But mind you, at this particular point, Swanky finds out from Fantana the conversation that Fantana had with Annie, and how she was, talking about, she got people in Lagos that want to beat you up. She got these issues with you. But they still, when she comes in, it's still the fake kisses. Okay? Even at this particular point, Zari has found out that Annie, she found this out from Nadia, right? That Annie was talking all this jazz about, that he's so young. Remember, she was making the comment about at the wedding that Shakib was so young, and that she was making a lot of comments. And then she had the nerve. There's something not right with Annie this season. At the wedding, at Zari's wedding, she wants to take the mic. Mind you, we're all shocked that you're even invited to this wedding, but you decided you want to have a moment. Was she drunk? She might have been drunk. I'm not a good tester of who's drunk and who's not drunk. Was she drunk? She wants to make an announcement at the wedding. Mind you, you're not even that close with these people. So Zari finds out that Annie was talking all kinds of mess at the wedding. So Swanky doesn't see it for Annie at this dinner, and Zari doesn't. But Zari, for those that don't think that Zari deserves to be on the show, no. In this moment, she showed us that she needed to be on this show, especially when we don't have a Kanye. Okay. She ate Annie up. She ate her up. Come on. She talked about Two-Face. She said, oh, Mrs. Two-Face. She ate Annie up and left no crumbs. It was like, ate her up. And I like Annie, but Annie deserved it. And then Annie wanted to, cry and talk about how everyone ganged up on her. Come on. Come on, Annie. Zari ate her up, read her fulfilled. She said, you want to sit here and talk about my relationship? You have no... She didn't say it like this. But basically, if I was going to translate it for you, she ate her up. And she said, you have nerve to be talking about me, my life, and my husband when you're married to that one? And all those side babies? And then when you meet with when you meet with Quentin, aka Naked DJ, you want to act as if everybody ganged up on me, and this is the reason why I was so upset last season is because I was pregnant with twins and I lost the twins. And look, that might be part of it. I think that is part of what Annie is going through, but more so, I think this is about her relationship with Innocence, aka Tubaba, aka Two Face. Lavender says she destroyed Annie. Purple Royal says Zari saved the season. She read her down. And look, I've never really been like a big fan of Zari. She's sort of grown on me. But in that moment, I said, oh, what? Guys, if you're a member of the channel, I have dropped the call-in link on the community tab for those that want to call in and share their thoughts on the new season, the first 3 episodes of Young, Famous, and African. But shout out to those of you that are watching the replay. I know I did not plan this and give you enough heads up, but if you're part of the replay crew, it's okay. We will do another live talking about the other episodes, maybe episodes 4, 5, and 6. How many episodes are there this season? Okay. Oh, thank you guys for the super chats. I didn't even realize I had some. Thank you. Chocolate Soul, thank you for the super chat. Chocolate Soul says, I'm so disappointed with the use of the word the N-word. Ooh. And various other American slang terms. Is this Fantana's influence? Send her back to the USA. I don't like Fantana. I didn't like her from last season. I was shocked to see her back this season. But I think the reason why we see her back this season is because of her F buddy, Diamond. I think that's the only reason why she's back. And now she's playing with the idea that she might be pregnant. Okay, girl. And of course, Zari doesn't like her. Zari put her all the way from her friends with Diamond. She invited Diamond to her wedding, but Diamond claims that he never got an invite. Who do you believe? I mean, just because she put think about this is a real good housewives move. Pretend like you invited him, put a whole name tag there, and invite his FB, his F buddy, invite his FB and make it seem like he's coming, and you get there and they're filming and you're left sequestered all by yourself at the other end of the table. Maybe. Fortune, thank you for the super chat. Fortune says, Annie in that wig, I knew that man got her crazy. Some of the wigs looked okay. Not all of them, though. Empress, thank you for the super chat. Empress says, Annie is an actress, and the new lady who looks like Spice is also an actress. Yeah, we haven't met her yet in episode 1, 2, and 3. You're talking about Annie? We haven't met her yet. It says, Innie is a seasoned veteran in the world of acting, starring in over 200 movies and TV shows as a Nigerian actress. Uh-oh. So is Annie and her going to get into something? Because, Annie seems insecure. So the fact that another Nigerian actress is going to be on the show, it's going to be interesting. Okay, Empress says that Annie is an actress, and the new lady who looks like Spice is also an actress. Swanky is a stylist, but that is all I got. Thanks, Empress. Let me bring that down. Let me just also pull up the info about Kefilwe. They said Kefi joins the star-studded African cast of Young, Famous, and African Season 3, marking her reality series debut on Netflix. She is a well-renowned fashion influencer who's known for her stunning and elegant looks, which she proudly showcases on social media. How do people in Africa view influencers? Because here in the States, they kind of look down on people that are influencers, like other celebrities and things like that. They're kind of like, influencer. Do you guys feel the same? For those that are like the actresses and the celebrity, like musicians, do they look down on people like Kefi, like influencer? Even though she's probably making more money than a lot of them, just saying. Speaking with SNL 24, the 35-year-old, she's 35? Wow. Has teased what to expect in her involvement in the series, noting that the fans will see a woman who has, quote, since embraced change. Fans can expect to see a woman through the lens of what she believed was her truth at the time, but has since embraced change. Kanye makes a bold entrance in season 3. Wait a second. Why did they say Kanye makes a bold entrance in season 3, episode 1, during the reception of Zari and Shakib's wedding? She was personally invited by Swanky. Oh, I think they made an error here. I think they meant to say Kefi, and they put Kanye. Yeah, they made an error. I'm gonna need the direct to get it to get it together. So yeah, because we don't see Kanye yet. All right. Abdi, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Abdi says, Kempire, I was in New York City this weekend. Why I ain't see you? It was freezing and it was snowing. And I'm in the house. What were you doing in New York and where were you visiting from? Tiana, thank you so much for this. So why I didn't see you? Really? Tiana says, thank you for the super chat, Tiana. Tiana says, do we all have the same opinion of Annie? What's that opinion? That something's not right? Something's wrong? She's off this season? She seems very bitter. She seems like she's mad at the wrong person. Right? Come on. She seems mad at the wrong person. She's mad at everyone else than her husband. And then she tried to do a whole thing last season where they got remarried. They did all this stuff probably because in episode 2 where you see my face show up reporting to Baba cheated again, allegedly. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. I like to hear the different opinions. Okay. So Bettini? I apologize. Influencers are a big deal in Africa, especially Nigeria. Some actors are diverting to influencing to earn more. Didn't I just say that? And you're seeing some of the actors here in the States doing the same thing. They become influencers. Okay, Godchild says, I was in New York City too, visiting from the DMV, saw the MJ show. Godchild, are you coming to the show on Friday? My show on Friday in DC? Just asking. Okay. Live chat. Let's get to 250 likes and I'll drop the call link for you guys to share your thoughts on episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Young, Famous, and African. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video and don't forget you can hear an audio version of our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. While you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. Earlier today, we did premiere the visual version of our podcast episode with Chanel Ion, who's on the new season of The Traitors. So be sure to check that out here on our YouTube channel for those that may have missed it. Okay? Peaches and Cream says that Annie needs therapy. She does. There's something off about Annie. A to the B says, why does Swanky act like we should all kiss Indy's ring? Doesn't he feel like I feel like he does that all the time though. Doesn't he do that with like any new person that he's introducing on the show? It feels that way. But that could be just me. Because I felt like he did the same thing on episode 1. I believe it was episode 1. Yeah, it was at Zari's wedding when Keffy was being introduced, when she was walking in. But okay. Okay. Let me get to the callers because, oh, damn, it's already 6 o'clock. I want to get off of here by 6 o'clock. It's all right. It's all right, guys. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the new season of Young, Famous, and African. I see we have a few people backstage that want to share their thoughts. So I'm going to drop the call and link for our general audience as well. Oh, what? Twisted T says, I just saw that Kanye had a facial surgery. She looks totally different. Wow. Really? She doesn't look different in this photo for the new season, but maybe she did it after. Should she be on the new season? Well, there is no new season. Should she have been on Dubai Bling? Should she have been on Real Housewives of? No, I like her on Young, Famous, and African. It's just the two. It's a different vibe. Ooh, CJ says Annie does need some professional help. Don't we all? HFG says, is Andile back this season? No one said that he was. We don't see him in the first 3 episodes, so I'm assuming he does not make an appearance this season. And based off of this list of the cast, I don't see him, which is fine. He went from being a really nice guy to having a very messy relationship history that we unpacked it in season 2, and I was just like, what are we watching? Ooh. Malabo says that Ini is really huge in Nigeria and the rest of Africa. So is this do we see this? I don't mind a spoiler on this. Are we going to see Ini and Annie have an issue? Because I just get the feeling, and it might be like the Heather Gay of it all. Or not even Heather Gay. What's the other show that we talk about that the person's always insecure. Oh, Bell Collective, like Leticia from Bell Collective, like anyone that has something like she's jealous of. Are we gonna get that from Annie this season? Okay. Burgundy says that she knows Annie from their own village. Okay. Oh, Tubaba doesn't. Tubaba made an appearance in episode 3 on FaceTime. Faith says that Ndile and Tubaba don't make an appearance this season at all. Mm. Okay. Oh, Teach says I feel like Annie needs therapy and rehab. What? That's not the first time someone's made a comment like that in the live chat. Oh, okay. I like. Oh, good. Nasser says no issues. They are like sisters. Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay, Dainty says they are like sisters. Good. And then look, it looks like Annie is going to need support this season because there are a lot of people not feeling her this season. Oh, okay. Kay says that Annie checked Annie a little bit, but there's love there. Okay. Whew. I wasn't sure because it sounds like Annie is very successful, very famous, but maybe because they're from the same, country, they're and also the same industry, so maybe there's a love there. Okay. And Tiffany says, "Why rehab?" I want to know too, Tiffany. I've seen a couple of comments about that in the chat. I wish her the best. All right, let me get some callers. We have folks calling from South Africa backstage. We have O'Shea. We're gonna bring up O'Shea. 1 second, O'Shea. Let me just put up my little disclaimer to remind the folks: the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of the Kempire LLC, myself, or our sponsors. Okay. All right. Let's bring up O'Shea. O'Shea, what's going on?
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I think you bring up a very good point about the introduction of the cast. I think the show is badly produced.
Hmm.
As the same with Dubai Bling.
Mm-hmm.
I think Netflix knows how to do this in the US and the UK, but they shows in the rest of the world they do have this problem where they just put people on, and most people don't know what's going on. Like even the show is based in South Africa. Like when season one started, the people were not in South Africa.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know any of them.
Yeah.
I had to go and look, and even in season one, they did a very poor job of explaining who they are, where their money and stuff came from.
Yeah.
I mean, like I looked because I was like interested, but like the average person just is watching the show. They're not about to dig about all these people.
Nope.
Like it's not gonna not gonna happen. And so Kanye is on the next episode. I
Okay.
believe
Episode
on
4.
episode 4.
Okay.
She's coming in to discuss because Nadia's boyfriend had passed away, so
Oh yeah.
they're going to be introducing that topic in the next
Because we
episode.
talked about it in season 2, about because we knew that played out on on social media in regards to her boyfriend, but it didn't play out during the season.
Yeah, so I think it's they're gonna start introducing the conversation in the next episode and pulling it forward. So hopefully that not hopefully I didn't think that would be good to see because she hasn't really spoken much in public. Well, yeah, she hasn't really spoken much after the
Sidebar though, do you think that it was sort of a little bit of a dig when Annie brought it up to
I think
Keffy?
I think so.
Okay, because I thought I was missing some. Because Keffy was sort of like, "Oh, that was so sweet of you to think of her that she might be going through something," and I was like, "No, I think she's trying to take a dig at Nadia."
No, I think so because I mean, there's a lot of like other personal things that were going around at the time. True or false, I don't really know. So I
Mm.
think it was really a dig. But you are pronouncing Kefil her name correctly,
Oh, okay.
so that's that's fine. That's fine. And Annie is just like Contessa. Like they could be twins with their mirroring of their relationships. I'm like,
Ooh.
what's going on? What's going on? I'm so confused. Yeah, and Kaylee can go. Like, she really was the other hire for the season, and
Okay.
yeah, no, there was no need. Like if they were going to reinforce since Kanye is hardly in it, they needed to bring someone with a big personality who's gonna like fill the gap. Because right now there isn't really any. Okay, it's only 3 episodes, but there isn't really anyone,
Mm.
carrying the season, and
Mm.
it's gonna take a sad turn when when the conversation about AKA Nadia's
Okay.
boyfriend comes up.
Okay.
So they needed to do a bit more with the casting, I feel. But yeah, but thanks,
Um,
Empire.
Thank you, O'Shea. Have a good night. Okay. All right, we have a line backstage, so let me bring up Winter next. Hold on. Winter, are you there?
Yes, hi Kempire.
Hey.
All right, so I really like this show, right? And I was excited to watch it. I watched it over the whole weekend. But the problem, I felt like the arguments were like a little forced, like you were saying. I'm just like, what's going on? Like, what are we arguing about? And I also want to know, like, who really got the money? Like, I feel like, are we like faking it for the show? Like, who really, really has money here? I mean, I love the way they dress. Like, I'm like, who's
Yeah.
making these dresses, these gowns? Like, did you see Kari, her purple? It looked like a seashell. It was a
Oh,
look, and I
yeah.
was like, that is gorgeous. Like a reunion look. Oh
Yeah.
my God, stunning. But the only thing I'm gonna say about Annie is like she's definitely giving scorned woman.
Mm.
Like, you know, when someone's just not happy in their lives,
Yes.
they want to bring everybody down and then they want you to support them, but you kind of don't know what they're going through.
Yep.
Like, girl, I can't be a friend if I don't know that you're going through something.
Yep.
And then it's just like I don't know. For me, I'm like, she just seems too difficult to be around. Like, but
Especially this season.
yeah, like I don't know what's going on. Maybe she should just sit it out because you just look like she
Too
just looks
late now.
miserable. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like next season, I don't want to see this again. Like I'm good. But I really like Carvey. I like her little fine husband. You did see the insecurities though. It will start showing his age, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, she. This is where the age difference takes apart."
But he's
And
33. That's I mean, if that's his real age, that's not that young.
I thought they said what 23.
Oh, is it? I can't. What? Which
Yeah,
one?
she's
I mean, he looks young.
he but and then with Diamond, I said it like you could tell she was getting aggravated at one point. I don't know if you saw it yet.
Mm.
I said, yeah, this is where you see the age difference. Like
Oh.
it's giving mom and son. That's it.
But she got married to him very quickly too.
Yeah, we got to see it play out. I'm ready for the next season though.
Oh, oh damn.
Anyways, I know. Go ahead. How long we gotta wait?
Another year.
They could. Oh yeah. Oh,
Which
all
is another
right.
reason why I try not to like binge watch it, but like you can't help it because it's all
It's
there.
true. It's when we only got like what few episodes, not even 8, I think, this
Oh,
season. I don't,
really?
yeah, I
Oh,
don't
so I'll
think
be
it's
loud
8
again soon.
episodes. But
Oh,
anyways, you have a good night.
you too.
All right.
Malumbo says that he's 33. Gifty says her son is 23. Okay. Okay. As long as we clear that up. So he's 33. I don't think that's that young. I mean, there is an age difference. What is like 10-year age difference between them? Okay. Kay says, but his insecurities are justified. I agree because here's the thing: it's not like Zari is innocent in her interactions with her ex Diamond, and it's not like Diamond is respectful either. He will flirt with Zari, sleep with Fantana. He will even sleep with Zari, I'm sure. So I can understand where anyone of any age might be insecure around these two in their relationship. Faith says it's 8 episodes this season. Okay, that's good to know. So maybe I'll recap episodes 4 through 8 in the next live that we do. A Rich says, yeah, she definitely treated him like a kid in one scene. That's the problem when you date someone older, because even though there's like, age is not age doesn't matter. There will always be that moment where that will come up. All right. Let me get to the rest of these callers. Amy's backstage. We're going to bring Amy up next. Amy, what's going on? What do you think of Young, Famous, and African?
Hey there, Ray. How you doing? Here's the thing. I think someone said something earlier about the use of the N word. That
Mm,
kind of was cringe. I did not like that. But the overall, like, I'm happy everyone came back. Well, most of the people.
mhm.
Um, I think what people are seeing with Annie is they think it's some type of drug use because of her tick. She does a lot of rocking and shaking and she's talking.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's it. I just think that might be just, her thing. I don't know. I
I
didn't
feel
get
like she's
drugs.
like that from season one.
I know, but I think people are they're more observant of it because a lot of
Mm,
people are not like feeling her this season.
mm.
I personally think she should have not went to the girl's wedding because didn't you like kick her out of your wedding like last season? Like, girl,
Yeah,
what are
they
you
were in a
doing?
good place. She was surprised to be invited.
I know. I was like, what?
They're
I don't
filming
know.
it
That was
though.
weird. I was like, that's not your friend. So I just thought it was rude to go. I would have just bowed out and probably
You thought it
sent
was
her a
rude
gift.
to go?
Yes, because you did not go. You kicked this girl out of your wedding last season.
But she
Like,
invited her. Wouldn't it be rude not to go? And then they would have made that a storyline. I
I
invited
would
her
have
to
just
my
sent a
wedding and she
gift because
didn't
I
show up.
wouldn't feel comfortable until we had a conversation.
Oh, okay.
That's just me. I mean, because it just didn't. I mean, as far as she could have showed up and told you to go home too. I just don't trust stuff like that because I know I kicked you out of my wedding.
Just showing up, doing a Meredith Marks.
Yeah, like so, and then I mean, I know people were mad. I actually am proud of Lewis this season because I feel like everyone tries him, and I think he allows it. But like, yeah, he went a little too hard on Fontana, but Fontana was being a little extra, and I feel
Mm.
like to a certain extent, Fontana thinks she's better than the girls because she is has an American accent or something. I don't know.
Oh,
She gives me this arrogance, and I don't know why because she's not that girl. So I was happy he let her know that no one knew her music and no one knew who she was. And I was like, this is a good read because it was literally just talking about what she contributes to the group. And she isn't. I mean, outside of her sleeping with Diamond, what do you do? That's the question. So I felt like he gave her the right assessment and the right read. Kari, I felt like she gave the right read to Annie because Annie
Zari,
showed
Zari,
up.
Zari, Zari.
Zari, I called her Kari. Zari gave the right reason, Annie, because you showed up. You didn't have to show out. The fact that she allows you to sit there, eat her food, and then the getting on the mic, girl, that was way too much. I would have been like, thank you, Annie. Have a seat. That was just way too much. That was just overkill. Um, Hopefully throughout the season, I haven't finished watching everything, but
It's
the
okay. We
stuff that
only
I
talking about
saw.
episodes 1 and 2 and 3.
I know. I said we only watched. I said I haven't watched the whole season. So
Yeah.
from what I saw, it looks really, really good. But I have to say the cringe thing is the American colloquials in the arguments. I'm like, can we just get just what you all would say? We don't need. I mean, I'm here to see a different culture and how y'all do your thing. That's all.
Yeah. Oh,
Football was good.
okay. Thanks, Amy, for calling in.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Someone mentioned the children. Yeah. Do you guys remember the scene with Zari? She has a conversation with Diamond, and the kids talk about how they wanted to call their father, and their mom wouldn't let them. And then Zari was like, "Well, it was a school night, or it was like during the week, and they're not allowed to use the phone during the week." Do you believe Zari, or do you believe that Zari is, keeping the kids from Diamond? I mean, I might keep my kids from Diamond, but but they're not biologically, I don't have any kids, but you know what I'm saying. If I had kids, um, all right, Miss Carolina, we're gonna bring up next. Miss Carolina, what did you want to share about Young, Famous, and African?
Hey, Kempire. How are
Hey,
you?
oh well, how are you?
I'm good. What I wanted to say, I got a few points I want to make on this season.
Mhm.
First and foremost, the fashions are fashioning. It
Yeah.
is definitely giving. I also wanted to say kudos to productions for trying to create more events.
Mm.
However, I would like to see more events in different parts of Africa, like the
Mm.
cast going to Lagos, the cast going to Ghana, and
Mm.
just showing more
Yeah.
of the continent. And
I
I
think that
do
might be
notice that
costly though.
there has been a few comments on social media about how, people are using American connotations, things like that. What you have
Yeah.
to remember that these are all African stars from different parts of Africa,
Mm.
and they can only really communicate with English. So that's why
Mm.
sometimes those things are happening.
Yeah.
If you just look, for example, a lot of Africans might speak two, three, maybe even four languages.
Mm.
But amongst this group, the common language has to be English.
English. Yeah.
What I did want to mention as well is that with Annie, what I feel I can see is a woman who actually loved her partner more than she loved herself.
Oh.
And where she's been with him since she was 15 and
Yeah.
he was a lot older,
Mm.
that puts her in a very difficult situation. And anyone who knows this, that a lot of West African women are raised to endure, regardless of how
Mm.
bad it gets.
Wow.
And, this is what it looks like 20 years later. You're walking around constant anxiety,
Mm.
constant paranoia. Everybody else is the enemy, but the actual enemy is just sleeping in your bed at night.
Oh.
What I also wanted to mention was about Louis. I think Louis is very, very misunderstood
Okay.
because he was excommunicated from his
Yes.
family due to what he done on, I think, Big Brother Africa.
Yes.
People don't realize he's actually out here in this outside world on his own,
Oh, no
you know?
family, nothing.
Right. So he's
Mm.
really looking for a sense of belonging. That's why I kind of understood his surrogacy approach, because for
From last
him,
season.
his mindset was, if I had a baby, I had somebody to love me. So I
Oh.
think that's what he's going at. But I do feel that he's very misunderstood, and I do feel that at times he struggles with communicating, and he just goes 0 to 100. But upon reflection, he realizes, hold on, I done the wrong thing here. I also wanted to mention about Fantana. Fantana's just a nepo baby. Her mum is a big African politician, and she got
Mm.
shipped to Atlanta. She grew in Atlanta. She doesn't really have free songs. She's not the biggest dancehall artist in Ghana. Please, we have a lot more coming out from the nation. So please do not let her represent us. But yeah, I just want to say well done. But I do want to just say this one last point.
Mm.
I am loving seeing the conflict and then the resolution, and then we're
Mm.
moving on.
Yeah.
The story keeps going and going, and I think that is something that Potomac missed out on. You know,
Mm.
where
Yeah.
we could have had these sit downs, we could have had the conflict, and we talked about it, and we moved on. And that is what I am enjoying from this series. But yeah, that's all.
Thank
Have a
you so
nice
much.
evening,
You
Kempire.
too. Thank you for calling in.
Bye.
Bye. I loved her perspectives. Thank you for that. That was really really important. This is why we love the callers. You guys really give a different perspective. God's Child says I was disappointed when Annie took a dig at Nadia, so unnecessary and mean for no reason. I knew it was a dig. I was like, that seems like a dig, but the way that Keffy took it, she was just like, oh, that was so very nice of you to be thinking of her going through. I was like, I don't think she was being nice. I think she was taking a dig. But okay. All right, let's get to at least last couple of callers, guys. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the first 3 episodes of season 3 of Young, Famous, and African on Netflix, now available. You can go check it out there. And if you missed it, you can catch me on season 2 in episode 2 for like 5 seconds. It's okay. All right, Jess is backstage. We're gonna bring Jess up next. Jess, what's going on? Jess.
Hey, Kempire.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. So, like, my perspective is about just like the famous in African. I do feel like they dropped the ball calling it young famous in Africa. I think they should have called like rich famous in African, because that way it could kind of like give people more of a perspective of what we're looking at. Because I do think that yeah, they do praise like the influencers there, especially in Africa, because like a lot of business owners try to work with them and patronize them, and they are the people who end up having a lot of the businesses in Africa and everything. I do think that Annie's, I always give great grace to Annie because of the fact that she was essentially groomed, because of the fact that she did start dating him when she was like 16. He was like 24, and I always try to like every time I remember that, I'm just like, she really mentally does not know what better. And the reason why her and Kefi, they have like that instant bond is because they are both come from the same places of delusions. And I think that they kind of like, they're both like, if you notice, they both said, oh, you're a mother. And instantly they both connected.
Yes.
And you're going to hear a little bit more about Kefi's story and like what, I don't know if that was that in episode 3 yet?
No.
Okay, yeah. So you're gonna hear a little bit more about her story, and her and Annie are kind of similar in that way, and the choices that they made and all that, and what they've settled for and all that. And so I do think that that's why they did connect so instantly. And I think that with Kefi, she doesn't really like connect with Nadia, because Nadia is of course like one of the younger cast members. She's like, I feel like she connected more with Annie, so she kind of like just like took her side immediately and was like, okay, I want to be Annie's friend regardless, because like this is like Two-Face's wife. So we know Two-Face is super famous. He's super like him, Diamond, and the lady who's gonna be coming, Annie, are the most like famous ones on the show. And of course, Zari, she has money because of proximity, but you will kind of see Zari.
What about Kanye? Kanye's pretty famous, right?
Oh yeah.
But she's not much on this season.
Yeah, because I will say I don't really know much about the South African cast members. I know most about the Nigerian ones.
Okay.
But of course, but Diamond's not Nigerian. But I do, because he does a lot of collaborations with Flavor, who is a Nigerian artist, and they have like up to like 100 million views and everything. So he's really
When you Googled Diamond stuff, like I didn't know until we started talking about Diamond in season 1, and I looked up his stuff, and I was like, he has big following.
Yeah. And lastly, I'll say I'm rooting for Zari and Shakib, Shakib is he's a good man. He's a good man.
He's a good man,
But
Savannah.
very good man, Savannah. And I just don't want Zari to blow it because Diamond is definitely trying. I do feel like I wish that the show kind of did the Bravo thing where they do flashbacks, because there is some claims that Diamond's making that I believe are true, but it's just like Zari saying like that didn't happen. But I could have sworn she did, kind of like, when she was checking Nadia and Fantana, saying like, I could have Diamond anytime. I think they both said those things. They both said. So I do think that it's gonna kind of mess things up if like they don't kind of clean it up, or if Diamond doesn't just let it go and respect them both. And did you people when he said that he could have bought them a house?
Oh wait, no.
So he was saying, in episode 1, he was throwing shade, basically saying, "Oh, Zari didn't invite me in the way I felt like I needed to be invited." Like basically, I don't know if she wanted him to come over to the house, bring him wine or
Oh
something.
yes.
Yeah, it was really because it's like if you got an invite sent to your house, just come. But basically, like he was saying that she didn't invite him the right way, and he said, "I would have bought them a house. I would have did all this stuff." And so he was kind of like trying like to flex on him.
Yeah.
And you're gonna really grow to really like Shakib a lot.
I mean, I don't dislike him now based on what I've seen, but there's not a lot in the first 3 episodes. So
he's great. He's like probably like the best MVP this season for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right, Jess. Thank you for calling in and giving clarifications.
No problem. Bye.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right. We're gonna bring up Nash next. Nash, what did you want to share about Young, Famous, and African?
Hey, Kempire, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, yes. So I have a couple different points, but like this is one of my favorite shows on Netflix, so I'm like tuned in. Okay. But yeah, I think everyone there, except for Pineapple Fanta, is good TV. Like they're all bringing.
What did you call her, Pineapple Fanta?
But
don't do that to my Pineapple Fanta, because I do like a Pineapple Fanta. I don't drink a lot of soda, but if I'm going to have soda, that is one of the ones I like. Okay.
I'll make a banana Fanta then.
Oh, ew.
But I think the disconnect with the show is that they don't all live in the same countries. And so they don't see each other very often. So there's not like close bonds and close friendships. I don't think they're even calling each other on the phone. They're not like flying to see each other. So you can feel the disconnect when they're meeting. It's like, let's catch up or fit a year's worth of drama into 8 episodes. And it's like, you can't really do that. It doesn't feel organic. It feels like, hey guys, we got to put on a show. Like we have to do this in order to get renewed. So I think that's really the problem. I think what they need to do is do like trips outside of the show throughout the year so that there's, things to build off of, or, just overall just having an actual relationship. Like it just feels very disconnected.
So that's probably what we're all feeling when we're watching it. It just feels like, but why can't they find like a group of friends that are actually around each other like that?
Because I think maybe not everybody's interesting. Like in their friend group, they might only have like 1 or 2 interesting people. You know what I mean? So it's like they're trying to get the big names, but the big names are all scattered across, because Africa is a huge continent. Yes. So they're all scattered, and so they're trying to get all these big names, and it's just not. I think they just need to do a better job at bridging that gap where the disconnect is. Yeah. Outside of that, I think Zari was correct in coming for Kiffy about the wedding entrance. She was uninvited and late. Like that to me is not that, like you're already uninvited. Like I think coming as someone's +1, it's just etiquette.
Yeah, you're right. But that was a hell of an entrance.
And then you're coming in, walking down the aisle in a veil. Like, I get it. You wanna like make your stamp, but it was just not called for, not the time, not the place. Yeah. And I think that you're trying to upstage a bride on her day, and I think that's what Zari was like. As the boss lady, I have to check you for this. So I get that part. Yeah. I did like Nadia this season so far. I watched the whole thing, but I'm gonna stick to the first 3 episodes. I did like Nadia this season. Like I think with her losing her partner, I think she brought a lot of realness, raw, and she's funny. And you know what I mean? Like she didn't try to sulk in and like focus on that. She
Yeah.
did try to show us parts of herself, so I really liked her this season, and she was hilarious. Her reads were just overall chef kiss.
Yeah. Okay,
um,
Nadia.
and then I'm trying to move on really fast. I
Hmm.
think Zari and Shakib weren't dating for very long before they got married.
No, they weren't.
So there is like the foundation's a little rocky. So his insecurities, I think, stem from that.
Mm.
Like he doesn't have that I guess like reference to say, oh, we've been together forever, like
Yeah.
I'm not threatened by Diamond.
Yep.
So I think that's a thing too. And actually watching them on TV, and I think that's another thing. Like watching the show on TV and then becoming a part of the show
Yeah.
really corrupts the thinking when you get on the actual show. Because I think he's referring to a lot of stuff that happened last season, not necessarily things that he witnessed with his own eyes in person.
Yeah.
So it kind of like skews their whole relationship.
Yeah.
As for Annie, I think it's sad, but it's also, as Nadia said, you can't use your trauma as a reason to be mean or be bitter to other people. I think Annie's relationship with Tubaba, it's like her first relationship, as most people have pointed out.
And
She
only.
doesn't have any experience.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't have any experience. And so for her, she's crashing out right now on TV. And I think if anyone's her real friend, they will say to her, hey, you need to get off of TV, go seek therapy, and handle yourself in situation, because right now it's not a good look for her.
Yeah.
Like she's blowing up at everybody else, as you said, and she's just directing her anger in
And
the
she-
wrong direction.
And she probably needs to leave to Baba.
Yeah. Luis as well needs therapy. His
Yeah.
family situation, he's using wanting to have a child as a band-aid or a medicine to fix his wounds.
Mhm.
And the child is a human being. You can't just, and I think you'll see later on where he gets into it with another cast member. I won't say who, but that's essentially what he's doing.
Mm.
And I think he needs to speak with someone, talk to someone, because he's going through it, but like he's putting on this masculine front, and it comes across as misogynistic later on.
I mean,
So-
if Lala can do it, why can't Lewis do it?
It's I'm not saying he can't do it, but it's the reason behind it.
No, I
Like you're
agree.
trying to patch and fix something, and that child will feel it when they're older. Oh,
I feel
my
like that's what
parent
Lala's
only
doing
had
too,
me.
though. In all from Vanderpump
Yeah.
Rules, for those that don't know what I'm talking about, I feel like that's why she decided to have a baby as well.
Yeah, and your child's gonna feel it later on. They're gonna realize, oh, my parent only had me so they can fill a gap or fill a hole in their life, and that's gonna start a whole new generational curse right there. So he needs to go to therapy, figure it out. If he does want a child, do it for the right reasons, and not to like mend some kind of, because he says it later on. He wants to use the child as a way to see his parents, and I'm like, that's weird. That's not healthy.
I will say
Yeah,
this:
and-
that's not healthy. However, it's not something that we haven't seen other people do too.
But it's not right. I
I know. I
get it.
agree. Look, I agree 100%. But I'm just saying he is not the only one.
Yeah, but he's just doing it on TV in a way that we are all
For us to
seeing.
judge.
So, yeah. And Pineapple Fanta and Cubic Zirconian deserve each other. I think they're both just they
Not cubic zirconia.
they deserve each other. The whole baby situation is weird. Someone said in the chat, like, they drug it out. Like, pregnancy tests are available, like, at the pharmacy. We could have found this out in 2 seconds, but it kept going and going, and like,
Really,
girl,
they drag it
please.
out. I really or don't like her.
I just think she doesn't bring anything. And she doesn't bring drama. She doesn't bring any music. She doesn't bring anything that's interesting to the public at all. And then lastly, I think Kaylee, Kiffy, and Annie are the same words, just in different fonts. Like, they're all very, like, to me, their personality reads desperate for the man. Like, it just comes across like you don't love yourself enough to walk away and stand up. Like, we already know Annie. And Kelly's been with this guy for 4 years. He said it over and over again. Like, he's not interested in marriage, but you are still there. Like,
And you
you're
want
still there.
marriage.
And it to me, it's just like, girl, like, you might not be the most interesting person on TV, but you're beautiful, you're
isn't.
young. Like, at least, like, do something else. And I think it'd be interesting if she had left and then brought like a different guy on the show, like that would have been like, ooh, yes, let's tune in. But no, you're just sitting there,
Taking it.
like just holding space. And yeah, as the other caller said, you'll see Kefi later, like her whole story.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just think they're the same person, just the same person. Different font.
You guys are so poetic with the perspectives of everyone calling in. That's so interesting. So you think that Kaylee, Annie, and Kefi are very similar but different fonts?
Yes, like in terms of their self-worth, how they see themselves in relation to like men, like they come across as women who uphold the patriarchy.
Ooh.
Like it just gives, oh, I'll cook for my man, I do this, I'll move it. Like the key thing, a man proposing to you on one knee and it's a key. Like at that point, I would be packing my bag so fast.
Yeah.
And moving and relocating. I would disappear. You know what I'm saying? But you're still here, and
we
you're
honestly wish she had disappeared.
See, I like her though. I feel like she's like not dramatic, and so she kind of brings that kind of calm to the group.
Balance. I don't feel like she brings anything. Not even the calm.
She brings more than Pineapple Fanta in my view. So I don't know. I don't know, but that's my take on the show. Okay. I hope they have a reunion. I think there's a lot of questions.
They haven't done a reunion for like season 1 and season 2, but you never know. They might decide to do one this year.
As long as it's not live, because clearly Netflix does not know how to do live. Yeah, they need to leave the live alone. Just record it, 45 minutes, maybe a part 2.
45 minutes? They've given us 50-something minute episodes. No, we need a 50-something minute reunion.
Well, like part 2 parts of 45 minutes.
Oh, 2 parts of okay.
I think that would be good. But
no, we just need one part. Look, just one part, 50-something minutes.
I'm being nosy. Like, there are a lot of questions I have that I want answered.
Okay.
But yeah, at least give us a reunion. We need to see Kanye's new face. Like, we need to see her new face after it's been healed.
Is the face that different?
Oh, child, look, just go Google schmoogle it. You'll see. Cat eyes and everything, or fox. I don't know.
Oh, and why she do that to her face?
The thing is, though, I like that she's very transparent about things. Like, I do like that. She doesn't hide. You know, like some people do things or do work and then they'll come back, oh, no, I'm naturally like this. Like, we have amnesia. But she's like, yeah, I got it done. So what? You know, so.
Oh, is this her man? Oh, I'm pulling this picture up. Don't go anywhere, Nash. And everyone waiting backstage. I'm going to get to you in just a second, but... Oh, wait, y'all. One thing I have to say. I mean, this is probably a little Facetune as well. Okay? So I don't know what it looks like in real life. But hold on. Let me bring this up. This is a live show. Ooh. Oh, we miss you, Kanye. Hold on. Wait a minute. Is this her man? Oh, it's her man, right? It has to be a man. Because if it's not, her husband's going to be very upset.
Like her recent man?
Yes.
Oh. That's not her recent face, though.
Oh, that's not her recent face? I'm on her Instagram.
Go ahead, like, because I think she just got surgery, like, either November or December of last year.
Okay, wait.
Let me Google.
Oh, well, she hasn't posted the new face on social media.
There's a video of her.
I'm looking at the video right now, but she has sunglasses on. Oh, I mean, this new face is not bad. Look, because this doesn't look like her old face either. Because look, let me show you the other picture of Kanye that we have here. Doesn't look like her old face. See that face don't look like this face.
Well, that's not her original face either. So
I know what? Come on.
I'm not trying to show you. Like
I know. I just can't help but laugh.
It's like a Pokemon. She keeps evolving. So like, you know, we just gotta wait and see.
Wait, here's another photo. She definitely looks different. Oh my goodness, with the skin bleaching though. She's admitted to that too, because she's done interviews and talked about that. Let me show you this other photo. Hold on. What are we doing right now? I'd much rather talk about Kanye than talk about the rest of this cast. Okay.
She's an interesting character.
Look at this.
Oh Lord.
She looks. I don't know what she looks like. Oh, Miss Carolina says, yes, that's him. He's good looking. She got a good looking man. Good for you, Kanye, girl. Good looking man. What's his background?
If they have a season 4, I'm hoping she comes back, though.
If they have a season 4, she needs to come back. Just saying.
And for
Say,
the reunion.
yeah. Okay. All right, Nash. Thank you so much for all your perspectives. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Kempire. Have a good one.
You too. Bye. All right, everyone backstage, I apologize for making you wait this long. Let me bring up Zari next. Zari, what did you want to share about Young, Famous, and African? Oh, wait, hold on, Zari.
Hi.
There we go.
Hi.
Hey.
I just want to say, this is my favorite show, Point Blank, on
Yeah.
Netflix because I am African. I'm proud as African woman,
From where in
and I
Africa?
hate. I'm from Guinea and Sierra Leone,
Oh, okay.
so I'm next to Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. I hate my West African sister, Santana Banana. I hate that girl so much because she thinks she's a player, but she's the chessboard. She gets played on. Like, I love Diamond. I grew up with Diamond. If you're African, you love Diamond. Diamond doesn't give it for me, and he's not like he's a smooth talker. I may understand if he's in front of me, then I'll get lost in his words and his fame, and I do think that's why she's with him is because he's Diamond Platinums. He is
Mm.
the you understand what I mean? And I hate she's so rude because that's not African. African, yes, we are rude. We have our rude nature, but we don't put it on front straight.
Mm.
We will shade you. We're very sarcastic, but we won't tell you to f off, my nigga. Like we won't do that stuff. We don't do that. So that's what the other. I do agree with the other callers. She does bring her Americanness to the show, and that's
Because did she grow up in America?
fantastic. She did, yeah.
So
That's what with accent.
I can't with
I'm
that.
happy you guys like Nadia. Nadia, I don't like Nadia because of
Okay.
season one. She
Why?
hated she hated Zari because she was with Diamond. She was doing exactly what Fantana's
Oh,
doing now.
yes, you're right. Because there was a little bit of a possible flirtation
Yeah,
between Nadia and
yeah.
Diamond.
So that's why I don't understand. Yes, I feel so sorry that she lost AKA and we love AKA too.
Mm.
But I just can't in my heart, like I just can't like I you hated this girl because you wanted to be with her ex. That's not woman to woman. That's not women supporting women to me.
Mm.
Come to me.
Yeah.
And then why Diamond didn't go to the wedding of Zari is because he wanted to do the African thing. Come, I'm the father of your children. Come to my house with the man and sit down, have a glass of wine with me, and in fully, sincerely, with your whole heart, invite me to your wedding.
Oh,
So I know like the Americans are like or like Westerners are very confused.
yes.
Africans we understood what he meant.
He wanted
He
like a
didn't invite
parade.
me. Yeah, he wanted the whole everything. He
Mm.
wanted the cake and everything, the candles, everything, the ice, he wanted the whole shebang, and he wanted a moment.
Wow. And she was not trying to
Yes,
give him that.
and she wasn't gonna do that for Diamond because again, Diamond didn't marry her. Diamond played with Zari up and down the streets
Mm.
from from East Africa to West to North to
Mm,
South,
mm, mm.
and that's why she left him. Yeah, Zari definitely loves Diamond, but she's the boss lady. She can't do with all of this.
Yeah.
And with Annie, I hate when people say she was groomed. Yes, she was groomed because she was quite young. But
Mhm.
for us African women, and like people like my mom, they were married at 15. They were married at 14, 16 to older men. Like
Mm.
my dad is like 25 years older than my mom. My mom.
What in the sweet tea?
Yeah, but then unfortunately, like after 30 years, my mom, she did the thing. She said, "I'm leaving. My kids are grown. I'm leaving. I'm tired. I want to live my
Wow.
life." But we can see now, like having 14 kids on somebody, that's a lot. And she put up with a lot, but she will never leave him until Olivia and all her kids are grown and they can they can be happy by themselves. Then she will leave, hopefully. But again, innocent, he's a big star.
Yeah.
Like you guys are from like early 2000, like he sang the song African Queen. Like he is the premier. He was the guy for us.
Wow.
So I don't think she will ever leave him because that status of being his wife is so important. It's
Mm.
so
So you
important for
so you
her.
think it's not even just the fact that she was necessarily groomed or she's just, wants to be with this man because she's been with him so long. You think it's also because there's a level of status that comes along with being his wife.
I think it's the latter. I think it's everything combined. She doesn't know her life without him.
Wow.
So it will be hard
Is
for
it
her
really
to leave,
14
but also
kids? Is it really 14 kids?
I don't know, but listen, we all know, we know. If you know, you know. Like he's not faithful to that woman, and that's why she's crazy. And what the other caller said, I do agree. She's angry at the wrong person,
Yeah.
and I hate how she performs when she's on the phone to him. I'm like, oh, you're such a pick me. Stop it.
It
Like
definitely gives pick
stop.
me energy. She's like, oh my God, hey.
I'm like,
Oh yeah.
hey.
I miss you guys so much. Oh. It's a very different energy.
It is. I love the new cast member, Kafili. I think she's so gorgeous, but she gives me nothing.
Oh,
And
what do you mean?
I really want like season one, like the show showed us their normal day life, everyday life, and I wish we would go
Yeah.
back to that. Like other reality shows, I think it will be so important to see how they became who they became.
Yeah.
And that's the issue with many African reality shows. They don't show the day to day life of these people. They
It feels
just
very
I think what
surface.
very surface, and it's like I'm gonna take 3 months off my normal life just to film the show, and I'm gonna go back.
Yeah.
That's why you see them all coming on private jets, and these people are rich,
Oh.
rich.
See? And I
Like
think
not all of them, but some of them are rich.
but here's the thing. I think that's important to show that it's not a front. Like they are really rich. They've gotten this rich because they did this,
Yeah,
this, and this. People need to see that
yeah.
outside of
People
Africa.
do.
You know what I mean?
People do. Yeah.
But that's nice to know.
Um.
Look.
Yeah. Like other callers said, they want other people who are friends with these people in South Africa to be
Mm.
on the show. Listen, African society, how we get our money, we're very secretive about it, are very secretive about it. So I
Mm.
don't think the upper echelons of the African or South African society would come on the show because listen, if they don't see nothing, nothing else is happening.
Mm.
They don't want to know how. They don't want to trace the money.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so they want to keep hiding. And who else I want to talk about? I love Louis. I love Louis. I think what happened to him was very misfortunate, but the
Yeah.
way he goes about it is just so forced. Not forced, but strong,
Mm.
which is cringy to me, but I understand why he's doing it, and I do hope that he gets what he's yearning for, and
Yeah.
I do hope that he gets love and appreciation. Um, like you do see coming up episodes, you do see like he does get family members on the
Oh.
on the screen, so
Okay.
we'll see where that goes. I miss my toxic king and delay.
She misses her toxic king,
I
y'all.
like Diamond is toxic, but he's up out with it, up front with it. And Dile is deep,
He
deep
might be
toxicity,
worse
and
than
I
Diamond
love it.
and
He
Delay.
is worse than he is. He's worse than Diamond. We saw the girls fighting over him. The two twins that look like.
Yeah, they do look alike.
I didn't know to this day. I don't know who is who.
Me either. I can't even remember.
I think that's about
Louisiana
it. If
says.
people stop talking about Kaylee, I love Kaylee.
No, Kaylee can go.
Leave. She needs to leave naked. I love naked, but he needs no. She just self growth. Like this is the year where we need to elevate ourselves.
You're right.
You know.
You're right.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
We appreciate you
Kempire.
calling in. Take care,
Yeah.
Zari. Bye. All right. Let me say thank you, Miranda. Miranda, thank you so much for the super chat. Miranda says, I think Annie is too accustomed to the lifestyle, and we were just saying this, and the status of being married to Two-Face. She's not going anywhere. Yeah, he's a huge star, lots of money. Some people didn't Zari say in the in her read when she ate Annie up. When was the last movie that you did? I was like, oh damn. Truth says that the Kanye's boyfriend looks like me. I mean, I'm gonna take that as a compliment because I think he's very good looking, but I don't think he looks like me at all. But maybe if I had hair, put a little hair on me, maybe. Thank you, Truth. Faith says it's not 14 outside kids. He has 2 with Annie, 3 with one baby mama, and 2 boys with the other baby mama. And it's the timeline of things that overlaps because he's been with Annie since she was like, 14 years old. So there were overlaps in that, correct? So how many babies is that? 5? So when he met Annie, how many kids did he have? Just saying. So, okay. All right, let me get to the rest of these calls because I need to get off here by 7 o'clock. De La Shay, what did you want to share about Young, Famous, and African?
Hey, boo, it's about time.
I'm
I was
sorry.
like, damn,
I'm
how much
sorry.
conversation y'all gonna have? Anywho, So yeah, I have so many opinions because yes, everybody wanted to be a poet tonight. So
Oh.
don't worry. At first watch, I thought this show was The Delusional and the Restless because one thing I never gave was young. Okay, I remember Kanye coming on with a strong 35 saying they were young, and I was like, is this Arrested Development? I don't understand what's happening. Okay, and I have to agree with you, Kempire. Watching this, not the man. And speaking of the the picture of Kanye and her man, I feel like Truth was being shady. She wasn't giving you a compliment. She was very much so giving Annie when Annie was being shady towards Nadia. I think she was saying that Kanye's man is giving how you do it, how you do it.
Oh
Okay,
my
can we call a spade a
god.
spade? Are we gonna talk or we gonna talk?
Oh.
Speaking of talking, I had a specific order I was gonna do, but we can't live life like that. All right, we gotta change with the wind in order to survive out here. I'm hearing a lot of diaspora wars in these critiques. And what I want to say with that, first and foremost, especially off of the heels of MLK Day and just like what we're going through as Black Americans or just Black people in general living in America, it is more important now than ever for us to be solid and
Mm,
unified, right?
mm,
Because united we stand, divided we fall. Clearly, I'm a New Yorker, all right.
oh, we can tell.
Okay, you're welcome. So, with that in mind, I feel like one of the things that people that I feel like is happening and it's becoming a bigger conversation within the diaspora is trying to shade Black Americans. And I think people forget like Black culture is the soil fertilization and heartbeat of American culture that has a global impact, which is
Mm,
why we're seeing the use of words like, the N word or American slang. And it does feel foreign, even coming off of someone who's Black. Now, granted, we don't need to fight about that. We have bigger fish to fry. Okay,
mm,
that's a very kitchen table talk conversation. But with that, I think that people forget like there's a nuance to that, which is why people are like, eek, why
mm,
are they talking like that? Blackness is copied everywhere. You got people from the villages of Soweto, like, copying Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk, wanting to be Beyonce despite the color of it all. Okay. And that's a beautiful thing. But I think because we're missing that, and you'll see later on in the season, that they mention even the term like lobola, which is like, I guess an African term or an African word for talking about bride price. And I was like, okay, yes, introduce us to the culture. That's what we want. We
mm,
want to understand the nuance. And that's not ignorant for not understanding or not knowing. It's called access. Everyone else has had the privilege of seeing Black American culture at the forefront. And therefore, they're able to know words like nigga or no people, sorry, or
mm,
no people are certain people are not allowed to say it and certain people can. It's in that privilege that because they've been spoon fed our culture at large that they know about it. We have not had that privilege in return. So
mm,
trying to say, oh, it's the Americanness that Fantana. No, we watching the same show that Fantana's on. Zari has been very rah-rah. Kanye has been very ratchet. You know what I mean? And in fact, so much so, I was actually relieved not to see Kanye on the beginning part of the season, but as it went on, I was like, "Am I toxic? I miss her toxic." You know what I mean? I was like, "Where's she at,
You're not
Kanye girl?"
toxic. We miss our
I
Kanye.
know in the beginning because before I was like, "Oh, this is what the South African babes are watching. This is too much." But now I'm like, "Oh wait, get her back." With the new face, with the bleaching, and even with the face and the bleaching, can we talk or can we talk? With the new face and the bleaching, I'm also like the beautiful thing about seeing other, not even other people, we talking for real. Seeing other Black people globally is that we recognize that one, we get an opportunity to pick them apart the same way they would have come for us and pick us apart. Because I'm like, what in the colorism is going on?
Mm,
When I was watching the show, I was like, where are the dark skinned babes? We're in
mm,
Africa. You know what I mean? And we understand as an American or as a Black person, period, Blackness comes in all shades, and all shades of it is beautiful. But it's very telling to constantly see all of the girls that are exalted on the show as only being light skinned, formerly brown skinned. It's it, it says something that's a part of the foundation, and we don't want to normalize that. We don't want to normalize that on an American platform. We don't want to normalize that on an African platform. It's just like, and I think there's a conversation that needs to be had, which is why I'm so sad that there isn't a reunion for this show. We need a reunion and we need it done right. And with the copying of Blackness, I think that people forget also like there, I don't even blame it on, I feel like they probably would have an American production, if I mean not American, an African production team. And I think
they
because
do.
they've seen and studied, everybody has studied the likes of a Nene Leakes. Everybody has studied the likes of a Kenya Moore. Everybody has studied Black American culture because we are what? That girl forever and always. And with that in mind, people are trying to replicate. That's what we see in a Zari, which is why you're making a connection to a Real Housewives. And I think Zari is fab. I
Mm.
think her and Diamond are both birds, which is why you can see the trail of feathers lingering behind them every time they link. But with that in mind, what I do love, my favorite pastime is watching women drag men. And I love to see that maybe she was dumb and young with him, which is what we're seeing in reverse with her choosing a younger guy. He's like 12 years younger than her, which is significant, Kempire, especially when you think of him being a man, being 30, 33. That's really like 26. You know what I mean? Especially to be with somebody who's a boss woman like Azari, because she does give boss. Petty, because the kids were telling on her when Diamond came. I was like, ooh, one thing kids will do will humble you every time.
Yep.
But yeah, I just
Okay.
think that there's a bigger conversation to be had. We can't afford to be nitpicking and picking at each other and stuff like that. So anyway, moving on. So with
We
Diamond,
we we gotta move on because I
I
gotta
know, no,
go.
okay, I got you real quick.
Oh.
So Fantana, every time I hear her talk, I feel like I'm being held hostage in a remedial class. It's literal nails on a chalkboard. I cannot, but I was here for her villain era when she started when she alluded to Diamond and his pipe game. Because he don't give like Shakib gives. Shakib is giving Zulu. You know what I mean? Diamond is giving, all right, you got a little money, so people entertain you. Next. Annie, are you okay? She is not. Chop. Swanky is giving Lisa Milan. He just wants to get close to whoever, whenever, however, right? And he's waiting on his Chanel Ayan. I peeped your interview earlier. It does give that. It gives a friend to all, which means he's truly a friend to no one but himself.
Mm.
Louis, I do feel sad for his situation. I understand the baby thing of wanting to be close and proximity. It's sad to feel like alone in the world when your people are here. However, it was very telling, and that made him lose all my respect for him at points when he started calling Fantana all kinds of bees and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
And with that, I do feel like Swinky did right. As a man sitting in that space, no way should you allow another grown man to degrade a woman in your space like that. And
Yeah.
with that, I totally give Swanky his kudos. I've always seen him go out for the other women on the cast. And there's something to be said about that, even if he seems a little fickle.
Mm.
Zari, I do believe she invited Diamond. In no way did he deserve the homecoming when he never gave her that respect. He even had Fantana coming at her sideways. As the mother of your kids, absolutely not. Um, so
And
yeah,
on
I think
that
that's part
note,
of.
De La Shay, I have to let you go,
All
but
right,
we
baby. I
appreciate you
love you
calling
so
in.
much. Thank you for being patient, and
Of
I can't wait
course.
to see you at your show in New York.
Yeah, New York. I'll see you soon. Thanks for calling in. All right. Guys, I have to go, but I appreciate everyone calling in. Everyone had really interesting perspectives. I am going to do another live recap of Young, Famous, and African, talking about episodes 4 through 8. So stay tuned for that. Make sure that you're subscribed and that you have your notifications on. Shout out to everyone that has sent in super chats. We appreciate you guys and your support. Some comments that I wanted to highlight before we go. Bettini says, no kids before Annie. Every breakup he had with Annie always produced a kid. 4 kids outside Annie's kids. I couldn't remember, but now you said it. Selena says that I think in season 1, Annie said that her first child was Two-Face's 4th or 5th child. Damn. And Genesis says, no, he is not a virgin. I think you're talking about Lewis. He's not a virgin. He said he got outcast when he had sex on Big Brother Africa. And that's when his family turned on him. Yeah. So his story is pretty interesting, but I agree with De La Shay in regards to, how he responded to that conversation with Fantana. I was not a fan of Fantana, but I was uncomfortable with how he was engaging with her. And I was sort of like, just saying. But I look forward to watching the rest of the season of Young, Famous, and African. Stay tuned, but don't forget the Kempire After Dark live experience is coming to Washington, D.C. this Friday at Union Stage. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, there should be maybe a couple meet and greet tickets still left. If you want to take a picture with me, have a little chit chat, go get those tickets today. And if you haven't gotten your tickets for the live show, go get your tickets for that. I will see you all in Washington, D.C. and the surrounding areas. Come onto the show. And don't forget, the Kempire After Dark live experience is returning to New York City. I will see you all in the next one. Have a great rest of your evening. Go get your tickets today. A new year and new shows. The Kempire After Dark live experience is returning to Washington, D.C. on Friday, January 24th of 2025. I know it's going to be an interesting week, so why not unwind, relax, and have a good time with our community and me at Union Stage again on Friday, January 24th, 2025. Meet and greet tickets are still available. All the information will be available in the description. New York City, then you're up next. For Black History Month, we're bringing the Kempire After Dark live experience back to the Green Room 42. So if you want to talk hot topics and more with me, make sure you get your tickets today. But for those that can't make it to the show, or maybe you're international and you still want to view the show, get this exclusive opportunity to get the streaming option, the live streaming option at the Green Room 42 for the Kempire After Dark live experience happening on Friday, February 21st of 2025. More information on both shows will be available in the description.
Here we go now. Here we go.